Okay, YouTube, it's Kev here from the Kev Baker Show. Now, I just want to bring you this story here because I think this ties in to some of the other stuff I've been covering lately and a lot of the alternative media have been covering. Now, as you can see here, the Obama administration, for some bizarre reason, say they're developing sanctions against China over cyber espionage. We just scroll down here, it says the Obama administration is developing a package of unprecedented economic sanctions against Chinese companies and individuals who have benefited from their government cyber theft of valuable US trade secrets. The US government has not yet decided whether to issue these sanctions, but a final call is expected soon, perhaps even within the next 2 weeks, according to several administration officials. Now, the thing is, the actual Chinese premier, Xi, or whatever you want to call him, Jinping, Kingping, whatever he's going by this week, I don't know, but he's actually due to be meeting with Obama in the month of September. Here we go again, this September again. So I think if there are going to be sanctions, they'll probably wait till after he's been. But these sanctions, think about it, sanctions are the kind of thing that have been levied against Russia because they say that Russia is the whole reason behind this unrest we see in the Ukraine. We see sanctions against people like Syria and Assad because he's an enemy of the New World Order. And now we see sanctions being talked about against China. And all of this really does point towards a bigger, kind of more worrying picture of a developing World War III. And this has been developing for a long, long time. There's a lot of people who tell you that this is exactly the plan all along, to have this global third world war. They could well all be in it together, but that won't matter a jot if we're right and we are heading to war here, because millions, no billions of lives could be lost. Now remember, just back at the time of the Tianjin explosion, well, I brought you this story here, and this came from Natural News. Now Natural News were saying basically, and that's actually not even the right story there, but Natural News were saying that the Tianjin explosion may well have been caused by some kind of space weapon, some kind of exotic space weapon. And if I just try and find it here for us, I need to find it. Well, what they were saying there was that it could well have been an attack on China for their devaluation of the yuan. Now that has sent the world's stock markets tumbling, as we know. We've had this mini recovery that everyone seems to be lording, but keep your eyes on it, because this just could be us, the big kind of lull before the storm, and we're coming to September, Shemitah time. Now this Tianjin explosion, like I was talking about, a space weapon attack, possibly, mini nukes. Well, we had veterans today. Now, it's a source that you have to take case by case, every story on a case by case example. There's disinfo everywhere you go. But I'm going to bring to you this piece of evidence here that ties in that this was an attack, because I find this quite relevant. And it's to do with something called scintillation. Now, it says here that scintillation is based on the distance from the blast. The farther you get away from the blast, the less neutron exposure you get. CCD cameras will detect scintillations, but only at high levels. They are not sensitive to far-afield radiation patterns. All CDC cameras were too far away to be sensitive enough to show scintillation properly. So you have to look at the whiteout in the centre of the photo, and this is what the photo is on about here. This is where the brightness is so great that it overloads the CCD pickup chip, causing a clipping effect. The fact that the fireball was so whited out or clipped indicates that the colour temperature was over 4,000 degrees Celsius, only achievable in a nuclear blast. Or, I'm going to add in there, some kind of exotic weapon that we may not know about yet, and has the same effects as a nuclear blast, without any of the radiation. And I say that because we haven't heard from any of the bloggers who haven't been arrested any talk of radiation detection, anything like that. The chemical plant, there's been chemicals detected, as we know. But look at these cars here. These cars are key pieces of evidence as well. Look how the tyres have turned to ash. Now if we come down here, it says here that normal people are not trained in what to look for. or in what to look at, so they simply ignore the obvious. However, once you see enough explosions like this, you begin to spot the artifacts in the photos real fast. Unfortunately, all of these people that know this stuff usually work for the government, just like I did. The big clue is in the ash produced and the exploding radiators on the cars. They show the radiation and the blast pattern the best. All melted rubber, glass and aluminium, but no melted steel. This tells you it is from radiation and not from gasoline fire. Temperatures between 1500 degrees Celsius for melting aluminium and less than 3000 degrees Celsius for melting steel. Everything organic ashes below 450 degrees Celsius. This had a plasma fireball that was over 4000 Celsius. Only a nuke can do that. The clue is the white ash left over from the thermal blast. Here's some other clues just here. The fuel tanks did not explode. The rubber tyres were ashed, not burned. See the white powder residue around the cars like I showed you. The radiators are all gone, indicating freon explosions. All the glass is ashed or melted. Also, the glass was blown out, not in. That suggests it was kind of sucked out the way, guys. All the new white cars show extreme effects of very high temperature heating. The paint is badly damaged due to very high oxidation rate effect. Silicon rubber tyres ash at 500 degrees centigrade. Now it goes on to say that glass ashes at 1500 degrees centigrade, gasoline at 250, tyres melted but no gas tank explosions, just like on 9/11. And it's Dr. Judy Wood who actually talks about that kind of stuff. And then we've got a yellow Volkswagen Beetle cars untouched due to the location, indicating radiation shielding from a nearby building, just like on 9/11. And finally, and most important of all, is the nanoparticle sized ash on the ground everywhere. Purple haze in photos is an indication of toxic levels of the gases fluorine, chlorine and sodium. Now then, the reason I bring you that is because when you see the Obama administration talking about now throwing sanctions China's way, we really are looking at a pretty dire picture. So, you can let me know what you think, guys, but that's what I think. I think we need to watch this space. I think we need to watch the markets. We're almost at September. It's Shemitah time. We've got blood moons coming up. We've got the Pope going to the UN. We've got Putin going over to America as well. It is all coming together for some major convergence come September time. And that is the Shemitah cycle. Remember, go back 7 years. We had the crash of 2008. Go back another 7 years. And that takes you to September in 2001. And we all know what happened then. So, later you